Nip was definitely built different, bro.
I think that was like the first time I ever saw that music video right now. And the energy, like this guy's on top of the fucking liquor store. He's just like with all the homies. And like, he's just telling you like, yo, I'm not like you. And here's a long list of why I'm different from you guys.
Man. Honestly, the dude was different, man. Like I put on, if I need some motivation, I'll put on some Nip and I'm good. Like I'm about that grind, about that hustle, man.
Yeah. And he has like mad quotables. Like, I feel like it's multiple times a week that I'm like on Instagram and I have my motivational pages that I'm sure you guys see that I follow and share shit from, but like it's mad often that I'm seeing Nipsey Hussle clips shared, the one where he's talking about, well, I call it the marathon because, this is not a sprint, he's really been dropping gems his whole career. And it's crazy to see even just out of the couple of years that he's been gone, like the impact that he's had since then. Like, I feel like he's just like where he is to me in the regard that I feel like I hold him in and everybody does is just so high. And it's just, it's very inspiring.
No, definitely, man. Definitely. Nip was like, I'm not gonna say ahead of his time, but he was just on a different league, bro. Like just a different wavelength, man. And it took for him to pass for a lot of us to get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Crazy.
Exactly. But we all appreciate him now. Rest in peace, Nip. And now let's get into the pod, man.
Let's go.
Good Friday vibes.
Long weekend vibes. Let's go, baby.
I need it.
Not with the hype.
Me and Patrick about to record a podcast. YouTube podcast. YouTube podcast.
YouTube. What it is, bro? Hey, it's the big man here. Hey, check it.
I listened to enough heady one. So I can catch on a little bit.
I was gonna try to get on my sticks flow, but I can't rap that off beat, bro.
No, man, that's like, I'm telling you, Blueface at the very least, like that's what that was reminiscent of. Man.
Yeah.
And just when you thought it was slowing down, it sped back up, and vice versa. He was chasing the beat like it was a bus that left for school, and he was a kid running after it.
Word.
But shout out to Sticks for actually doing it and not pump faking like Patrick. I even tried to give a little something, but high key he like just made me like stumble my words a little bit. I would have kept going. It was your fault.
Whatever.
Mandem. It's not with a hype thing. A war.
The world general speaking.
Yes, sir. What's going on, y'all? What's good?
And of course, it's me.
Shop like Shaq. You waste you.
How have you been, man? Short week. It's a Good Friday. I know that you probably have snapper or kingfish or both somewhere in the house right now. Not to mention the Easter bun that you've already dug into earlier this week. But please do tell me how your week is.
I mean, like, do I even need to say anything at this point? This man said it all. You already know. Straight up, you're already in this house, bro. But nah, man, we got the bun and cheese on deck. I'm not a fish man still, so I don't eat the snapper. I don't eat kingfish.
You don't eat escovitch?
Nah, bro.
You crazy?
How do you not
love it? The flavor is
the flavor is proper, but like, bro, I can't do all the bones, man. I'm not trying to dig around, just give me like the fillet, just give me the fish, just give me the onions, the peppers. I'll take that. But
do you eat like crab or lobster?
No.
Okay, cool. I was about to say, because if you eat crab and you can't eat this is yeah. But like it's not that bad. Like when I was a kid, I had a whole system down pat where you just eat one side and then you like peel off the whole bone, and then it minimizes the amount of little bones that you get. But like, it's so good. It's hard to say no to that. It's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, we're recording this on the Good Friday, so who knows? The weekend could change. I might, get some aunties to drop by some fish by the crib. You know what I'm saying? Or I might have to swing up and swing by and make a little visit, get some baked goods, some fresh fish, But definitely, I love Easter, man. This is like a beautiful time of the year, bro. The food is amazing. Normally you're with the fam, you know what I mean? But it's all good. We do it differently this year.
Yeah, man. I think it's gonna be very different this year for most people, I think. But like, it's a good time for us to like pause. Let's get some good food in. Let's like not work. Like, we've been craving a long weekend since like Family Day.
Facts.
So timing is good, I think. Weather's starting to get better. I wish it was nice. Like, if it was nice, that would be like way different.
It's a woodbine thing.
Yeah, like people are still outside though. Like, I saw people still playing basketball, the basketball court, people riding their bikes. To me, I'm not doing shit out there.
Fair.
Like I might just kick it in a garage. That's about it.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you, like, what are you up to? What's the Cox household saying for Easter, bro? What are you guys up
I
to?
don't even. I'm not sure.
Blood clot desert.
It's been a long time. We've been doing well.
We've been doing well. We've been doing well.
It's good. I think we're gonna have like some like beef Wellington. My sister wants to get into and do that tomorrow.
Okay.
But for today, I don't know. I feel like I saw some provisions and stuff getting cooked up upstairs. Worst case to me, I was always just gonna like take some mackerel and do that shit up myself.
Okay.
I love mackerel, and to the people that like go ooh and don't know any better, because I know that you get that can 89-cent can or whatever.
Yeah. They don't understand. They don't know.
You take that and you get some Scotch bonnet pepper, some onions, some tomato, some thyme.
Come on,
and you don't really need anything else. You just put that up on a pan and have some.
The flavor is insane.
And you have like what fried bake or is it?
We do dumpling, but I know
you guys call it dumpling, right?
Yeah. You do the bake.
Yeah. We do fried bake. I don't know. I don't know what's what. Being half Jamaican, half Trini has been the most confusing.
I can imagine.
I can imagine. I didn't know what was what. Like I learned pretty late in life, as maybe a teenager, young man, that they don't make roti in Jamaica. That was new for me.
Nah, we don't do that, bro.
Yeah. So it's been it's been an all right week. We got bikes because weather was great.
Whoa, you bought bikes?
Yeah, me and my brother, we were like, okay, let's get bikes. And he like took 3 trips to Walmart in one day. It was crazy. Wow. I'm going to see if I can call him down if he's free, because he told me the story and it was very like Superstore-esque.
Fair. I love Superstore. Amazing show, by the way. If you work retail, it's the realest show ever.
Yeah. Like Jonah's a bitch, but I like it.
Yo, I love Jonah's my guy. Actually, no, Garrett's the dude, yo.
Garrett reminds me of like more so like what I was like in like that part-time environment where it's like, why does everybody care so much? We're just going to be here for the amount of hours that we're putting in. Like, it's not rocket science what we do. Like
that was definitely a young shop like Shaq. I definitely can see you in that role, doing the bare minimum, doing just enough to keep the job. Doing just enough.
That wasn't that bad. Okay. It was just like, I'm not like, if somebody starts going above and beyond, my first question is why? You know, like I'm not doing bare minimum, but like, why? I'm also like, you know, sometimes popcorn, they would charge when I worked in a movie theater, for those that don't know. Yeah. Like they charge a lot of money for butter. It's like a dollar and change for one serving of butter, but then some people want to have layered shit, which I knew that was new to me when I started working in the movie theater. I didn't know people did that.
Yeah.
So I used to nice people.
Game changer.
I had the nice people. I'd be like, okay, I'll charge you for one serving of butter and give you 2.
Hey. But yeah, hopefully he can recap that story, because I want to hear that. And I'm surprised you guys could get bikes, because this time last year you could, or not this time last year, but spring last year, you could not find a bike in Ontario.
Well, that was part of the story. Like, honestly, Malik wanted to reserve a bike or 2 bikes. I had a gift card that I wanted to use to buy it. So I was like, oh yeah, come back. Like, we'll go later and get them. He's like, honestly, I just want to go home and come back and get them quick. He tried to reserve it. They didn't do that, because the story will, when he has a chance to tell that story, you'll hear that. But yeah, by the time I got there was like nothing left. I went to Canadian Tire after. There was no bikes there. Like, it was just nuts. People were going through bikes that day, and it was just the day where it was like 20 degrees outside for no reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yo, I had a friend of mine last year. Her boyfriend drove to Barrie to get her a bike. Yeah. Because he reserved it in Canadian Tire, got to Canadian Tire, they didn't have it, and they said the only one close was like in Barrie. So this man drove up to Barrie from Scarborough to get the bike.
I get the struggle. I get it.
It's like, crazy.
And like, it's like you either do that or you go on Kijiji, where you can find some good deals and stuff like that. But like, I didn't realize that you just go to Walmart, you can get a bike for under $200. My bike was $150.
Jeez, that's not bad.
Exactly.
Then we're gonna be cruising down the street in our bikes.
Yeah,
like we're 7 years old again.
That's the idea.
Yo, do you remember those days though, man? When you used to, like, before cell phones, before like all that stuff, you just roll up to the homie's crib, bikes on the front lawn. That's where it's you know what I mean? Bikes on the park. That's how you know everyone's out, you know? Crazy.
But yeah, we're on the same wavelength because I was about to segue to this anyways. I swear to God, I was going to do it. Trust me, I probably had my eyes closed.
Okay.
But we wanted to throw this out there as we're continuing to do a lot of really cool things in the background, and some things that you guys are starting to see come to fruition on our page, doing things with What's S Watching, Soul Bros, and then a couple other ones, Mark Anthony's content that we have up every now and then. So we're growing, like the amount of content that's passing through us, that's going to be the amount of collaboration and all of that is just going to keep going up and up and up. So all that to say, we need help. Like I would love to have some more people to work with on the behind the scenes stuff in the same way that we have a lot of people that we're going to start collaborating with from a creator angle. So you can add on to what you imagine that we would like to have as part of, you know, somebody that would join our team. But we're looking for somebody that would be interested in social media as far as like posting content, being able to you know, take the content from our creators and then put that online. People to help us chop up the promo clips. We also have some really cool guests lined up for you guys, but like I would love to have some extra hands with doing some of that outreach.
Booking that, you know, we gotta we need the outreach, booking some of the talent that we definitely have already started lining up, and it's just a matter of getting that in the schedules and stuff like that. So, you know, we're operating as a 3-man team right now, you know what I mean? So definitely trying to secure some more help, some helping hands, you know what I mean, goes a long way as we try to build this and continue. You guys have stuck with us, have seen the growth, and we just want to keep improving and keep getting better and doing this for you guys. So definitely putting that wanted sign up there. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like we just, I like, we have a really strong vision, and like, you know, reach out if you are interested. Please reach out to me directly, Patrick. Not with the hype account, whatever, and we can have our conversation about what we have planned. But there's a lot of things that are going to come through. You know, doing some of the crazy episodes that we've been able to do with some of the amazing guests, and you know, the branded partnerships that we've been able to secure, and being able to share our platform with other platforms. Like that's just the start of what we're really trying to grow and build out here. So if you're interested in just being a part of what, or even just interested in hearing what our vision is to potentially be a part of it, like we would love to contact you, or you contact us, and we can have a conversation about it.
Let's do it. Let's get it.
Did I miss anything there? I feel like that was tight.
No, it was good. That's one take. That's what we do, baby.
It has to be as good as, you know, when we deliver the Mayor Brown's ads, you know?
Yeah. Appreciate it, guys.
So I don't know where you want to start today. There's been a lot of clips that we can start diving into some serious conversations about. I think just from social media, just off of that conversation. And since we brought that up, I had a clip from Cameron that I thought was very interesting. And I think some people might need to hear it to just further realize that your feed is your feed. And that's what you can choose to see what you want to see and interact with on social media. So I'm gonna play this clip and just get what your take is, Patrick.
Let's talk about it.
I agree with this guy wholeheartedly. 1 second.
About blocking people, because I got at least minimum 200,000 some people blocked. Minimum. That's at least maybe more than that. Don't ever feel bad about blocking somebody. It's your page. It's your shit. Sometimes people are too opinionated on your shit. You get what I'm saying? Say your social media, whatever platform it is, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, it's your house. Somebody come in your house and be like, I don't like your curtains. Okay, cool. I don't like the curtains. I'll let you live inside. I don't really like the furniture. Well, get the fuck out.
So, I mean, he goes on a little bit more, but what are your thoughts on that? Basically curating who gets to interact with you on social media.
Yo, but that's the whole point of social media, right? And I think that's where people fall victim for a lot of different reasons, man. Like, I think we forget it's curated to your interests, your likes. You choose who's on your feed. You know what I mean? So it's there's pros and cons to this, right? I think I had this discussion with my pops, who's now starting to, you know, get a little bit more active, unfortunately, on social media. And
oh man, yes.
so, you know, I had to tell him, I'm like, listen, like, don't take everything you see on Facebook and WhatsApp and whatever as gospel. Like that you're seeing based on what you choose to follow, or what people who are like you, your friends who are often like-minded, are going to share. Right? That's just one source. That's one side of the story. You need to diversify that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where people fall victim. They just see one vantage point, one viewpoint, and they think that's it. They think that's all.
Also, like, it also amplifies like your own biases, and beliefs that may not be based on a lot of solid facts. So imagine, like, and this is a very dumb example. Like, imagine I think that lizard people are real. I don't know. And imagine I just decide to ignore every type of other opinion that exists out there aside from the opinion of people saying that lizard people are real.
Yep.
Now I'm just going to have a skewed level of confidence about what I believe and just start calling it fact, even though you can argue it, I guess. But like, I'm just saying that you should be able to see both sides and understand that people have their own biases on what they choose to share as well. And that you can't take, even if you know, it's a video that has been edited well, put together type thing, where you're like, oh, these guys must know what they're talking about. Like, no, not all the time.
No, exactly. Like, the good thing is everyone has a platform. The bad thing is everyone has a platform. You know what I mean? So, like, and to Cameron's point too, like, if you don't like something on social media, block them, delete them, unfollow. Yeah. Like, you don't have to follow these people who are causing you, like, I'm not going to say harm, but that opinions you don't necessarily agree with or respect or want to hear. Maybe you just want to put someone on mute. It's okay.
Yeah, so I think like Cameron, he also, so like you mentioned, he was basically also talking from the perspective of people interacting with his content that might not have anything productive or beneficial to his mental health or well-being, or just providing any kind of nuggets of any kind of information that's useful to him. So if it's just going to be negativity, they just get the Sergio Blanca.
Honestly, like, and that's
I agree with it.
That's what I struggle with too. Like, I feel like, how do I say this? So, you know, when we talk about cyberbullying and stuff, like, yes, that's real, but it's just as real. And I'm not diminishing cyberbullying, but what I'm saying is it's okay. It's there. You have the option to block these people out. You know what I mean? And I feel like we just need to use that a bit more.
I think we got to empower people to block people, exactly, and not feel like they're whack or weak for saying, you know what, I don't want to look at this, so I'm just going to block it so I don't have to interact with it. Like, if it affects your mental health, period, you don't have to see it, and you shouldn't.
Nah.
There's a lot of things on the internet. Like, we did not have access to shit like this back in the day. Like, I posted that picture with my brother and I on the computer.
Yeah. Like,
the amount of information that was on that computer is not even close to what we have access to every day in the palm of our hands on our phone. Like, that's instant.
Yeah. It's nuts, man.
Yeah, like I completely agree when people are like, I need to take a social media break, or I have a rule that right before bed I don't even have my phone on. They have like the social media limits where it's like, okay, I put myself to only have 2 hours of Instagram a day or something like that. Like, bro, that's me, how we have to do it, especially now that we're always inside and we're not doing things in the physical world as often. It's you got to monitor that stuff because we're spending so much time on there.
Yeah, that's me, bro. Like, facts. Like, a lot of times, like, I feel like I miss out on certain things because for whatever reason, social media gets really active after 9 p.m. I'm like, fam, I gotta go sleep. But I put blockers on. I put a limit on my social media. So basically, all my non-essential apps, they have a time limit at 9 p.m. Monday through like Thursday, or Sunday through Thursday, because I'm just trying to get ready to wind down.
So I don't want to think about that a certain time, because mine is like an amount of time. You can say 9 p.m. it's done.
Yeah, so I can do all apps. I could do certain apps, whatever. But I do from Sunday night to Thursday night, 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. The only thing that's active is like my chat, my calls, and That's it, really.
Is that the screen time?
The screen time.
Cool. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try it.
And like, honestly, I've been able to, like, I was struggling. I couldn't sleep a few months ago because I just had so much anxiety, especially the time we're living in now. Information overload, COVID overload. Like, I just don't want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going from lockdowns to shutdowns or shutdowns to lockdowns or something like that. I'm not sure which one is which.
And it's also, I think, I'm not sure if we talked about this, you know, it's crazy if we talked about this a couple pods ago, but I find also being creatives, you know what I mean? Like, because we do this, you know what I mean? We're on this promoting and just putting content out there, from the pod to everything else we've got going on, just, you know, trying to be active. That takes a lot, man. Like, that takes a big toll. And sometimes you just want to tap out, and that's okay. I think, like, if anyone's listening to, it's okay to put down your phone. It's okay not to be on social media every day. Like, it's okay. We just got to remind ourselves that.
Yeah, I think as a creator too, you need to remind yourself that, like, as much as you might put pressure on yourself for saying, yo, I didn't put out anything today. If you're just genuinely going through it or just having a moment, don't even feel like you need to push yourself through that. It's nothing. I'm sure you can survive not having a post on a day. Like, trust me, there's moments.
Your followers will be there.
Yeah. Like, if you, unless it's like, I don't know, it has to be dumb time sensitive where it's like a social media campaign that you're a part of for some kind of sponsorship. I get that. That's work now.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about where it's like, we're just putting out a promo clip, or I'm just putting out this picture of me. Like, there's no pressure on that. That shit should just be like, yeah, I'm just putting it out. And the moment that it you know, becomes a little bit, you know, too much pressure, now it's like, okay, you can take a step back, because you got to always realize that you're still in control.
Facts. And if you don't like the curtains, get out my house.
So yeah, where did we get to that social media? It was Cameron. I completely agree with Cameron. Like, I just think that's completely healthy, and that should be within your right to be able to refuse to interact with shit.
100%. Also, can we shout out how old Cameron is? The man's named Snapchat. I'm just saying, he named Snapchat as one of his top, like, apps. Like, isn't that app's pretty dead?
No, he used it as an example. He didn't say that I'm a Snapchatter.
I know. I'm just like,
Cameron's an Instagram guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, I'm not even sure. I'm not on Snapchat, so I would just have no idea. Like, It's funny for me. I'm old when it comes to Snapchat, and I've always been old. I don't know, because like, as soon as, like, I started a Snapchat just so that I can learn how to use the platform and get familiar with it because of my work before, and like, I never got used to it beyond that. It just never was an app for me.
It was cool, but then, like, I feel like I got onto it late, or like just people migrated to other platforms like TikTok, you know?
Yeah, I think when Snapchat got so big, Instagram came out with the stories, and then it was just like, well, what's the point?
It was over.
Yeah, what's the point? Do we want to go from one rapper to the next?
Woo, let's do it.
Let's go to the A, where it's going down.
It's legit, seriously.
So Young Jock,
oh my gosh,
apparently decided to get himself a beard. Like, he wanted to join the beard gang. I don't blame him. Yeah. I don't blame him, because it's beautiful having a beard. I love it. I would never have it any other way, and it's never gonna go away. So, he decided to get a beard, but he can't grow one. So what did he do? He had one sprayed on, and here's this video clip of him with no shame yet again. I don't know if he thinks that this is what is going to work to keep his name relevant, because he does this and like Love and Hip Hop and his dumb hairstyle that he had, and I don't know. But let's hear what he had to say.
Put your face on live for $1,000.
You put your eyebrows on live.
I need a card, y'all. I'm finna get this shot, nigga. Put your face on live.
Oh, nah. They didn't have the clip where they were roasting him.
Yeah.
What were they calling it? Like, they called it a mud beard or something?
It looks like, yeah, exactly. Like, the way where it is on his face, it doesn't even make sense.
But the thing is, like, Malik made sense of this, because he's just like, yo, this guy's a weak chin. That's just all it is. He has a weak chin. So like, when you're creating a beard line, it's not going to look natural because the chin is weak. And if the chin is weak and the beard is mud, it's not gonna be nice beyond like maybe a side profile picture in a barbershop.
Man, it was only a matter of time before someone did this, though. It was only a matter of time. We've been seeing the hairlines, we've been seeing the hair pieces, the beard was the next thing.
So I don't know. Like, he's just a clown. There's no other thing to say here. Or
no, he's straight up clown. Like you said before, everything he's done, the Love and Hip Hop, all these hairstyles he pulls off. Like, bro, how does your career fall off to that point that you've now become the joke?
So this is not inspiring for the beardless.
Nah. I'm sorry, guys. You can't join the bald and the bearded beautiful gang, bro.
That's a thing. Bald and the bearded beautiful gang. That's like triple B's.
I tried. Yeah. Yo, because I was thinking of what else was popping earlier this week, where they had the world's sexiest bald man. And,
oh my God.
I mean,
I heard that.
I mean, I'm just gonna say there's two of us right here, you know, and but whatever. According to what's it, People magazine? I can't remember now. I can't remember which magazine it was, but one of these lists,
like People or something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. So they got the one and only Prince William as the sexiest bald man.
Huh? Who the fuck are you telling that to? Me?
What do you mean by that?
Right. That guy, the guy with the monkey's butt of like a head. You know, when you get the baboon's butt, you got the hair parting and it's just a little centerpiece. That guy.
Who else is on this list? If that's what it is,
like, I don't know.
You can't just have him at the top and then just no explanation.
There was no. I didn't hear the rest of the names. He was the one that led. But him, Prince William, the colonizer. Well, he's not a colonizer, but his family's colonizers.
So this was okay. No, there was a study that counters it. Bro, it says Prince William, not world's sexiest bald man, according to a study.
Good,
but the study says he raises a vital issue. I'm not gonna.
We're not. Yeah. No.
Anyways, no. I just don't think he qualifies as the first bald man.
Right.
Do we include the Costanza or like is that included in bald? Because I think that should just be removed off.
Yeah. No.
You should be just thrown out of the race completely.
Exactly.
Like, where the farthest we're going is Jason Statham, because he has that shit super low. We allow him.
That little stubble.
Yeah.
That's it. But if you got I like it. The George Costanza.
I see the Jason Statham as like extended like facial stubble. So it's just all the same. It's just all the same.
He's just a giant face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But no, those guys don't make the cut. I'm sorry.
And then on top of that, so aside from the fact that I don't think he classifies as bald. Mm-hmm. He's just not attractive.
No,
there's no way to cut it. There's no way he is at all attractive or sexy or on anybody's list.
No,
as a celebrity, I can imagine to say he's somebody that I think about.
Right? Like, what? I've never heard this guy ever mentioned. Like, I've never heard sexy and Prince William in the same sentence. There's other guys out there, man. There's other people out there.
And I'm like looking at all these pictures and it's just not impressive.
No.
And then it's funny because there's all these pictures with other attractive bald dudes. And like, it's like almost like a side by side where it's like a fake reaction. So it's got The Rock just like, or like Michael Jordan with a face, Jason Statham.
Yeah. He makes a list. Yeah. Man, I don't know why everyone wants our shine, bro. That's why I said, that's what I talked about, the bald and the bearded.
He doesn't even have shine.
No.
You need to have shine.
Facts. You see this? This is shine.
Yeah, I keep trying to bring this up on the pod. Like, your shine is crazy usually. Like today, it's pretty good.
You know what it is?
What is it? Do you put like Jojoba oil or something? You put aloe vera on there?
What?
Jojo? What is it? J-O-J? It's something I read on the back of a bottle one time.
Bro, Jojoba. I don't know what you said.
Yeah, Jojo.
Mojo Jojo? What?
Jojoba oil. I'm seeing it's a real thing.
I've never heard of this in my life. I gotta look that up.
It is effective at treating skin conditions like acne, eczema, and psoriasis. And
okay,
it's moisturizer, good for spot treatment. It's great for your part of your hair regimen. So I was not off. But what is your hair regimen or bald head regimen?
I like that we're taking the time to have this discussion. This is good.
Yeah, of course.
So first off, pod days, very important. I know I'm going to be in front of the camera. I got to look good. So
it sounds like you're about to set up an ad for like, I don't know, like
what's a brand? What's a brand? Yeah, let's go.
Was it like Men's Hair Club? Is that one? No, that's like
that's
hair growth.
old. Yeah. Rogaine? No,
that's the opposite.
Yeah, we don't want that. Who's out there? Damn. We should know this.
I don't know.
Gillette.
Yeah, Big.
Actually,
Gillette. Yeah,
Gillette, Phillips. Yeah, Nivea.
Those work. Okay.
Yeah, cool. So yes, actually, all three of the above I use. But so pod days, fresh shower, and I like to shave while in the shower. I got a wet and dry shaver that I use.
Okay. Electric.
Electric. Yeah. So definitely got to use that. You know what I mean? And then after that, back up. I exfoliate. I like to, shampoo the day before.
That's a key.
Yeah, shampoo, exfoliate the day before. Then the day comes when I'm getting ready to shave in the shower, make sure everything's nice and wet and moisturized. And then right after that, pat dry. And then I use my, the balm. Got to use the balm. Yeah. Like a shave balm.
So what does that do?
So that, when you shave, you're kind of irritating your skin, right? So the balm, no alcohol in this, alcohol free. You get that nice cooling effect, and it stops like stubble. It stops bumps from popping up and keeps your head nice and cool. And then of course, might use a little moisturizer in the scalp to keep it nice and shiny and conditioned.
So this is just not by like chance. This is not like,
no, this is work.
My head just be smooth.
it's
just like I was just blessed with a smooth head.
Yeah, in parts, in parts, but no,
certain parts are smoother than others.
Yeah, exactly. But no, honestly, that's why I'm like, I take offense to the balded look. It's not just wake up and you're bald. You got to put time into this, as I'm sure you know, Shaq.
I've learned.
And the beard.
The beard is a whole other thing.
The beard is another level.
Yeah, man. I just started, like, I think I mentioned this a couple of episodes ago, started conditioning, and that was like a secret that like I should have been doing for a minute. So that's changed the game for me.
Mm-hmm. It's a game changer.
I wanted to talk about the most recent shock jock.
Oh boy.
So Lil Nas X, he released his new music video. I guess I should at least know the name of it.
I don't even know it. I haven't watched it.
I watched just like whatever clip that I saw where he's just basically on a stripper pole going from earth to hell, busting it open for the devil.
For Mephisto.
This guy's stuck in the MCU.
I'm stuck, bro. I'm stuck.
So he, so it's the song is called Montero.
Yes.
And so he's basically he's exactly what I just said. That's what happens in the music video. It's very almost like demonic and looks like it's especially if you're of some kind of faith. I'm sure it's very triggering to watch. And then on top of that, there's the Satan shoes that were released by what was the company that did it?
I don't even remember the company.
Mischief. So Mischief and Lil Nas X, they collaborated and got some Air Maxes that were black and red and very similar theme, Satan themed music video, which included real human blood inside this. There were 666 pairs that were released, and Nike did not sign off on this. They eventually sued basically as soon as this became something that everybody was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? So what is your thoughts on this before you... Oh yeah, go ahead. I want you to just speak freely and then I'll continue my my commentary as we go. But what do you think? What did you think of this when you heard of the video and the shoes?
So I didn't even know about the video. I didn't know the video was connected. I saw a clip of him on a pole and I just thought it was, I don't know, some regular video. So I was like, whatever. And then the shoe thing came out and that's what caught my eye. I was like, what? Like, why would Nike do this? Because what caught my eye is the fact that they were saying inside the Air Max bubble, was actual blood, like human blood that people gave. So I was like, that is wild. So I'm like, Nike, out of all companies, would do this right after Air Max Day? Like, what? You know, so that caught my eye. I was like, this is crazy. Why is he doing this? I don't understand. And I'll be honest, as someone who is, yes, I am Christian, it bugged me because I'm like, that I'm not down with like devil worship.
Perfect.
So
perfect.
That caught me.
So I wanted to basically set you up like that because
I know
because the argument that I heard, aside from hold on one sec, come through, you can chill for a sec. The other opposing opinion that I heard was that people of faith, the Christian community has often demonized people within the LGBTQ community. Therefore, him basically portraying himself as a devil was just kind of like a F you. If you guys are gonna call me the devil, then fuck it. I'm here I am in a music video being the devil. I think honestly that argument could possibly had me going, if there was no shoe.
Right, exactly.
Now that we have the shoe with some blood in there and 666 copies, I don't think so. This is just straight demonic to me. What do you think?
Exactly what I think. It's exactly what I think. And I was also like, bro, you're doing this for promoting of an album. And that's where I was like, oh, it's not an album that he has. It's a song. This all makes sense. How many times have we seen artists do these crazy things?
Yeah.
Just for a rollout of an album or a song or whatever it is, a project they're working on. So he takes a fat L for this one, bro.
Yeah, and if it's part of a rollout, like that's what I hate. Like I'm not really with the shock jockiness of everything. Like it's just kind of whack to me.
Yep.
I just don't get why you feel like you got to beg, especially when you're the Old Town Road dude that was making all kind of history with your single. Like,
so that's my thing too, was like, bro, you had a platform already. Like you had a mega hit. Like people would kill to have the success he had off of Old Town Road. You know what I mean? And even it wasn't as big as Old Town Road, but he had a couple like Panini. He had some other stuff that was popping on charts. Like
Panini did his thing.
Yeah. Why do you need this gimmick to sell yourself? Like, is that the type of artist you are? You're just gonna live off of gimmicks? Like, come on.
Yeah, and I think you just can't drop a video like this just to say, what? I just made a video, and then just have no explanation for any of this. And you got to be able to speak to it. You know what you're doing, so you got to be able to speak to it, to be honest.
Exactly.
I'm not going to do something that I know will shock / pretty much offend the masses, but in the same breath, I got to be able to speak to it.
Exactly. So, he takes an L, man.
I have... just get a splitter.
Are we going to circle back?
Yeah, we'll circle
back to where we talked about.
We're going to circle back to the Superstore moment.
Yes.
There's nothing here. I need another.
It's time for story time.
Unless you can hear Patrick, we just want to hear your Superstore story because it's just so funny.
You want to set this up?
What did you guys talk about?
Yeah, we kind of just referenced that you went back and forth a few times, so you can pretty much set it up as much as you want.
You guys play Egyptian Lover?
No, we're saving that.
Cool.
What? I have so many questions. It's gonna be good.
Okay, well, should we start with your questions first, or?
Just speak into this. Yeah.
Cool. Get me into the conversation.
You were going to Walmart because you wanted to get a tent. I don't know why. He loves tents.
I don't love tents. I just got a tent. Like people who buy tents don't need to love them. You just like kind of get one.
He's going camping.
I'm assuming be one of those people.
Not camping.
No, well, they could be used for camping. It could just be used think about this. Everybody wants to go do picnics and do things outdoors. Yeah. Cool. Let's go sit outside in the middle of a field in 35 degrees Celsius weather in Toronto.
So great idea. Bring a tent with you?
Yeah, because it blocks you from the sun. So why wouldn't you do that? This COVID times, tents don't sound so weird.
Yeah, true.
That's
Tents
true.
bubble,
That's
same
true.
theme.
Okay.
You make me out to be a weirdo. Anyways, so I went to Walmart to get a tent.
You're right.
Because originally, let me backpedal a little bit, because originally this started off as an online thing where I'm scrolling through online and I come across the tent and it says it's available online and it's available in store. So I'm like, it's available in store and it has pickup option. So okay. I'm like, okay, so I could order it right now and like pick it up within the next like half an hour.
Right.
They had something like that at Home Depot when I worked there. So, I assumed it'd be the same kind of thing. Nope. If I were to do that, it would have ended up coming like April 3rd or something. So I'm like, okay, never mind. At this point, it was too late. I had already placed the order. But I'm like, never mind, whatever. I'm going to go get the tent today because it's a nice day, whatever. Let me just go. Anyways, so I pull up and I see the tent and there's literally one left. And clearly it's not the one that I ordered because there's one left on the floor. So I guess this is how Walmart does things. So I pick up the tent, I'm like, perfect. And I walk by and there's like a bunch of bikes on the wall with like a bunch of them missing, but like there's some really nice bikes there. And like in my mind, like really nice bikes are like $2,000. Right. And I happen to walk by and I see a couple there that were nice for like $150, like $149.99. I'm like, what the hell? So I messaged Shaquille immediately. Like, we've been talking about bikes and shit. So I'm like, yo, Shaquille, like, what do you think about these? And he's like, yo, like if I were there right now, I would buy it myself. I'm like, just say the word. And he's like, okay, bet. And I'm like, okay. So I was about to buy it and he's like, wait, but I have a Visa gift card, but it's at home. I would want to use that. I'm like, yo, so do I. So we can put that together, get the both bikes. Boom, problem solved. I'm like, wait, but like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, I'm here now. Like, it's like, my hands are tied.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, it's Walmart. Come on. Layaway. Walmart is layaway. Layaway is Walmart.
Yeah. Is that technically still a thing that they do?
Right? Is that a thing?
There's no signage for layaway
no,
anymore.
That was Zellers too that I know.
Funny enough, yeah, you're 1000% right. They definitely don't do layaway. Anyways,
okay, gotcha.
So I'm like, bet, okay, let me like see if I can put this on hold. And like, this is all off the top of my head so far. I still haven't spoken to my associate. I'm like, let me see if I can put this on hold.
Yeah, that's the thing stores do.
And I see a woman working.
All stores do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I turn a corner, I see a woman working there, and I'm like, okay, perfect. Let me ask her. Like, she's doing something, but work's work. If somebody asks you something, that always takes priority over whatever you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
customer
I've
service.
worked retail. Patrick, you've worked retail?
Yep.
Yes.
Shaquille, you've worked retail? Kinda.
Popcorn.
Yeah. And we all know that there's like to a certain degree when you're off by yourself doing something.
Yeah.
Like, you could be doing nothing. And I'm not saying she was, but like, I've worked retail. I get it. But like, not my business anyways. I don't really care. I already went in with the mindset. I'm like, I know the times, whatever. No stress on my back for anything. Whatever happens. I get it. It's cool. So I asked her, I'm like, hey, excuse me, would I be able to put one of these bikes on hold? And mind you, the bikes are like, like around the corner and like a little bit away. And she's like in this aisle. And she's like, which bikes? I was like,
should I walk with you?
Should I? Yeah, dude.
I was like, they're
to show you.
Should we walk together?
Yeah.
I was like, if you fall, and then she's like, still sitting, and then eventually got up and like followed me over to the bikes.
Oh man.
And that took a little bit of time. I'm like, okay, whatever. So it's kind of funny to me because remember the mindset I went in.
Yeah.
So she's like, which bike is it? Finally makes her way over. And mind you, this is a Trini woman, so it just makes it so much better.
This is amazing.
I forgot to say that. It's a Trini woman, and the minute she started talking, like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy this.
Yes. Yeah.
So she's like, which bike? I'm like, this one.
Okay.
She's like, okay. She's like, all right, perfect. Get a pen and paper, and then just stick it on the bike, and yeah.
Wait, sorry, what?
And I'm like, you want me to get the pen and paper? She's like, well, I don't have pen and paper. So I'm like,
who the fuck are you telling that to? Me?
So I'm like, at that moment, I'm like, to me, like, remember, positive mindset.
Right.
Didn't want any drama, whatever.
Exactly.
Like, can I just talk to somebody else, please? Like, I literally said it exactly like that. Like, it wasn't like, nothing personal, but like, you're busy, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, okay. Like, and like eventually walked me over to the other side of the store to where the pen and paper was, I guess.
Wait, to stationery?
The funny thing, it wasn't. It was just the back of a receipt and a pen.
Oh my God.
So takes me all the way over there to do that. Yeah. Takes down my my name, just like basic information on the back of the receipt, and walks me all the way back over to the other side of the store. Mind you, this is all like 5 minutes now. This is taking a while for a reason.
Right.
Get to the back of the other side of the store, and then she goes to put the piece of paper on the bike.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, all right, okay, so you're gonna be back later tonight? I'm like, yeah, I'll be back later tonight. She's like, okay, perfect. It's here for you.
Take it off the floor, idiot. Like, that's the whole point.
Hey, Shaquille, I was being nice, remember? Positive mindset. I could have went in and said all of those things. Like, I thought about it.
I love this process because you could have easily got in there, write your own name on the thing and said, on hold, stick it there. I love it.
No, you just dibs it.
Just dibs.
No on hold.
It's just dibs.
Based on what I've learned thus far, is you could do that at anything in Walmart. And it works. Based on what I've learned. So right. I'm like, do you think I'd be able to like take it off the floor? Like, because I'm coming back. Like I want to make sure that it's here, like it's secured. And she's like, like I could. I'm like, okay, perfect. She's like, okay.
Where'd she go?
Leaves, goes back to what she was doing. I was like,
wow.
Okay, whatever.
Wow.
Mind you, at this point, I'm looking at the bikes again, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna get 2. This is when I decided that I was gonna get 2.
Okay.
I'm like, Shaquille wanted that one. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna get 2. So I'm starting the process all over again. I'm like, do I go back and just ask her again about putting this second bike on hold?
Right.
I'm like, no, you don't. No, come on. No.
Right.
So I went to go find the next closest woman.
Right.
Like maybe like a little bit away from her. Mm-hmm. Like, excuse me, like, would I be able to put a bike on hold? And she's like, I don't know. Walks over. Doesn't she walk over to the first woman that I spoke to and asks her, are we able to put bikes on hold? Obviously the woman looks at me and she's like, but I just put the bike on hold. And I'm like, I'm like,
everything you tried to avoid.
It's all happened. I'm like, nice, be nice. I was like, no, I wanted to put another bike on hold, but I knew you were busy. So like, and then she's like, okay, cool. Does the same thing with the pen and paper. Luckily, she had some.
She was prepared this time.
Wait, hold on. I tried to make her sound too good. She did not have some. She had to walk a little bit of ways to get it too. Maybe the same spot.
Right.
Anyways, get back to it now. And she's taking down my information. She's not reading the other one that's already been posted there. She's taking down my information. She's asking me for it. And I'm just like, I'm still like smiling and laughing. This is I'm loving it. It's hilarious. And then she finally goes to like, because now for her, she goes to put it on to the bike. But like with her, she like didn't think to put it on the spoke or something. She was like reaching high. So like she's like down here. Like the whole time she's like
she's reaching.
She's like just trying
jumping.
to put it up.
Okay.
And I'm watching this. I'm like, why? Like and I kind of made no, she made a joke first, mind you. She's like, oh, I'm too short. She's
like just there hoping that you'd say it's okay.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's your fault. Like joking with her, but like she didn't even like take in my joke. She's like doing her own thing. A couple minutes passed by. She eventually like kicks over the box, like, and then finally gets it up there.
Wow.
Perfect. Process is done, right?
Wow.
I'm like, so I'd be able to take these both off of the floors, just like, I'm coming back for them.
Right.
So like I want to make sure that they're here when I come back for them. And she's like, but what if you don't come back?
Wow.
So I'm like, again, like that could go either way.
Right.
Come on, think about that. That could go either way. So I'm like, but.
So then he goes home and you thought that he'd come back and the bikes would be there.
Right.
Wrong.
Hold on. What?
Yeah, and this is exactly what I told her was gonna happen. I literally said, I'm like, when she said that to me, I was like, just put them back on the floor.
Right.
And then we like, not to say we got into it, we like exchanged a couple more words along the lines of that and basically didn't get anywhere. Long story short, like Shaquille said, did not put the bike back on the floor. I'm going home, like, I'm turning right back around. I'm going immediately back there.
Kept the bike on the floor.
She kept one bike on she kept the bikes on the floor. One got sold.
Wow.
And then the other one was there. Ended up talking to like a manager about this whole thing after the fact. And like, mind you, she's wearing a mask while she's listening to me. And I'm just like, could you like just hear me out? I want to know if I did something wrong. Explain the whole story to her, minus the humorous part, I guess. Like I tried to like be a little more serious now.
Right. For sure. You want your bike.
Yeah, your people are messing with me.
Yeah.
But, the whole time I'm telling her this and she's like, no, yeah. because I could only read her eyes. I don't know
Right.
what's going on. She's like, yeah, maybe they were new. I was like,
I've never just encountered a place where nobody cared. Like down to
Yeah,
nobody just gives a
no
fuck
one
at
cares.
all.
That is definitely Superstore.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you ever see shit like an episode of Superstore where like something's going on internally that they like completely think is way more important
Yep, than
when
the
a customer's
customers.
like, I'm looking for
Yes.
and they're like, no, just
Can't you see?
pretty
Yeah,
much exactly
Yeah.
what
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
So that all happened within the first 2 occurrences, and then the third occurrence was
he took 3 trips.
There were 3
to
trips.
Superstore
because
in the same day.
I bought with the
I
tent.
keep calling it Superstore.
With the
for-
tent, I bought a basketball. You know,
Right.
I need a new basketball. Long story short, I went to pump the basketball. I broke the pin off in the basketball. Now I'm pissed because of the tent. I mean, the bikes and
But,
shit. So
yeah.
now I'm like, do you know what, Shaquille? You're coming with me. We're going back. I'm not going alone. So Shaquille comes back as my muscle. Go back, talk to the customer service woman.
Yeah.
Who is pretty much like, what's his name's Garrett, right?
Oh, Garrett.
Exactly
Yes.
like Garrett, and in demeanor and everything. And then I just start to tell her what had happened, my whole experience. She go, you could take it for you because you heard the whole
No,
thing. And
like
then
it was just like one of those situations where customer service tried to be like, well, I didn't do anything wrong, and he's just because he was basically saying I didn't get a receipt, and she's like,
she said I
gave
get
you-
everybody receipts.
Wow.
Anyways,
Wow.
it was like such a long back and forth experience that was just like way too long winded for
The
exactly
worst.
what it was.
As you
Yeah.
can see, it doesn't end. There's actually so much more, but I'm not going to continue. It's literally like a TV show.
No, for sure. But like,
We'll go offline with that one.
but we need to know. Did
more.
we need to know? Did you end up getting the bikes? We don't
Yeah,
know.
So we got 2 bikes.
Okay.
We ended up getting 2 bikes. They were not the same. Like, they were the same bikes, but
Right.
we were still able to secure some bikes.
But as people who grew up getting the exact same, like, you know, you get duplicates of something when we're kids.
Yeah.
This is what I try to avoid.
Right. You're individuals.
I'm
You're
like,
not
I'm
the
gonna get
same person.
Shaquille's bike. I'm gonna get my bike.
Yeah.
Now I got 2 of Shaquille's bikes. So that's where we're at with that. But
Blame Sandra or Sandra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for an episode of Superstore that has not been released. And this segment has actually been brought to you by NBC's Superstore.
I also went
Soon
back
now on Netflix.
and here's a little bit of that. And here's a little bit of the after the credits part. I went back. When was it? Yesterday.
Yeah.
And I had a whole other episode. Maybe we'll talk about that another time.
Oh man. Part 2 next time
what's
on.
What's S is watching? It's what happened when Malik went to Walmart.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just all those words.
Just
What
all-
happened when Malik went to Walmart?
I'm gonna keep going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep going, boy. I love
You
it.
need
Just
to
keep
wear a
going back.
GoPro on your head, body cam or
Yes.
something, because that would be hilarious. I think you
Yes.
can actually make a YouTube channel on just that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why
What
trip
happened in
so
Walmart?
You know how much mental stress it goes in being that positive through that?
It's a lot. It's a
Storyboard,
lot to deal with.
Storyboard it.
Storyboard that. I love it. Wow.
So
What
there
an
you go. There you go, Patrick.
epic story.
um
I don't even know where to go from that. That just
yeah. I can, let's throw a clip in here. Let's see
Yes,
what I
sir.
got. We have a clip of Styx singing Backstreet Boys.
This man was saying boys to men out here. Like, oh my gosh.
So I here's something really funny. I was trying to, because as I've kind of mentioned here on the pod the past couple of weeks, my girlfriend is going to be coming to Canada and visiting me, and for the first time in her life.
Wow.
She's never been to Canada.
90-day
so-
fiance.
Shut up. So I've tried to explain to her Canada geese and
Right.
what they're like, because they're not like any other bird. They're like they're assholes.
And they have more rights than we do.
They have a lot of rights. They
Yeah.
will fight.
Yep.
And they're like, it's like fighting somebody with the most amount of white privilege ever. More than white privilege, there's Canada geese privilege.
Ooh. Goose
But like
privilege.
I try goose privilege, but I tried to like explain to her that you can't fuck with these birds.
No.
They will fight you. They hiss. There's just something so fucked up about them. And like she started getting a little bit concerned about the Canada geese. So I was like, okay, it's not that bad.
They're not
It's just a
everywhere.
little- yeah, they're not everywhere. It's a little comical. If you're on York University campus, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I sent her this video, which I think was great because it was an American meeting a Canada Goose for the first time. And you know how like they like to stand up on one leg? It looks like they have one leg, and it confused me for the longest while until sometimes I would see it start walking. I'm like, oh, okay, got it. Lil Boozy is the American that I'm talking about.
Wow.
Did you see this video, Pat?
No, but I love it already.
It is so good. It is so good.
I love it already.
Here we go.
Man, I'm walking in the mall, man. I see a one-legged duck, man. Man, I feel sorry for him. Look at him, Layla. He's handicapped. Man, bro, I walked straight up to him. He ain't do nothing. He a soldier. Man, look, he can't do nothing. He hungry, bro. He hungry. Oh, there goes his other leg. Man, he was playing on my top. Bro, hey, bro.
Yo, that's the best. I need this guy to comment on everything.
What does Lil Boozy have to say about this?
He a soldier.
Look at it. He handicapped.
Yo, those things are the worst though, bro.
Have you ever had a standoff?
Yes, in my car, and I lost.
What do you mean in your car?
They were crossing the street, bro, and like they did one of these things where like I knew it was playing with
the mom and the mom and the little ones.
Yeah, but she was playing around, bro, because she moonwalked backwards, bro, and then she went.
I've never seen her walk backwards in my life.
Backwards, bro. She was walking forward, knew that the cars were coming. Right, we're stopped. You know, we're being respectful, and she starts walking forward. The little ones get across. There's no little ones on the other side, but she walks back now.
Oh my God.
So we're trying to creep forward. I'm trying to get through. Nope. She walks back now. Or she walks forward. Then goes back. Then goes, bro. These things play with us, man. They know what they're doing.
They're like the raccoons of birds with privilege. Where it's not like, hey, you raccoon, get out of my garbage.
Right.
No, you're not even. It's like, oh, fuck, I can't even touch it.
I can't touch it.
I could be criminally responsible for hurting this bird.
That's it. They got rights, bro. And they play games, man. They got that one leg.
One leg thing. They hiss. They just go. I don't know if you've ever seen that before. It's nasty.
And they poop everywhere, man. Why you got poop everywhere?
It took me, like, when I was a kid, I had no idea that was their poop, because it's like green little.
Yep.
Anyways, I had no idea. And those things are just the worst.
They make you play hopscotch. Like legit, like you'll be walking down the sidewalk and you're like, "Oop!"
Especially back in the day when I used to have to play. I was playing on the playground, just trying to, play some soccer or whatever.
Just try to be a kid.
Just trying to be a kid, exactly. Do we want to stay hip hop or go to TV and film?
Ooh, let's do TV and film.
All right, then that's just going to our segment of what's S watching this week, and we can start our conversation from there, because I know
a lot we can talk about.
Yeah, because I know you were watching at least one of those shows mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's play that clip. Shout out to S, just S.
Yes.
Let's see what he's watching.
What's going on, everybody? This is what I'm watching this week. First and foremost, Snowpiercer on Netflix. It is almost done season 2, so I'm letting you know to catch up right now. Daveed Diggs is amazing in it. You should definitely watch it if you've seen the movie as well with Chris Evans. Definitely go ahead and watch it. Number 2 on Netflix as well, Last Chance U basketball. If you've seen Last Chance U football, if you love basketball, if you love documentaries, and if you love an underdog story, that is the documentary to watch. So, what are you watching this week?
Yes, shout out to S.
Shout out to S. So I have not watched either show. I'm still not even really clear on what Snowpiercer is about, other than what S has given us. But Last Chance U basketball, I watched the first season of Last Chance U back when it was just the football one. I know they did a couple of the football ones. Did a couple first time. This is the first time they're going into basketball, and this is my bag. This is my lane. Right. I've only seen the promo. I have not watched it yet. Please tell me what you thought of this.
Bro, I'm surprised that you, of someone who lived this life, you was a hooper, and I thought like basketball was pastime for you, right? So I thought
ball is pastime. The love is different,
pastime, right? The
love is different now.
Fair, that's fair. But honestly, like, as someone who, I played, but not like played like these guys.
You still have a lot more love left in the tank than I do.
Yeah, this was good though, man. This is good. Yeah. Like, honestly, I've watched all of the Last Chance U's up to this point. And coming into this, I was like, all right, let's see what we got. Cause I didn't know about JUCO basketball. You know what I mean? I definitely, no, I knew about JUCO like football. Cause I know that's huge, but JUCO, if you don't know, JUCO is junior college. It's basically a step, some players have to take due to academic reasons, behavior reasons, whatever it may be, you know, to bridge the gap between high school and D1 college or D2 level.
And
college.
sometimes, like for me, or at least some of the Canadian kids back in the day, because I guess now it's a way easier transition.
For sure.
You just go to prep here and then go to university in the States.
Yeah.
But they would often throw around the path of going JUCO, regardless of your academic standing. So for somebody like me, I was like talking about possibly going to do JUCO in New Hampshire.
Wow.
Wow. Stuff like that. So yeah, go ahead. I don't know much about the show, but like, what's the dynamic like?
We're following a team in East LA. They're East LA Community College or East LA College. Dope. They got a dope team. Like there's some hoopers on this squad. Like guys that it wouldn't surprise me if they crack at least a G League or, you know, get some time in some NBA summer leagues in the next couple of years, because these guys can hoop. But you're basically following them throughout the 2019-2020 season. And yeah, man, it's basically their journey. They profile, if you ever watch Last Chance U before, or if you don't, they basically profile different players on the team, profile the coaches, and talk about each player and coach's journey and how they got to where they are and whatever. It's a dope show though, man. Like honestly, like
I saw the intensity in some of the promos.
There's intensity, and the coach Mosley, that's my guy. That's my guy. Like he's a character, man, but you'll love it.
Yeah.
Like check it out for sure.
Fuck, I gotta see that. I miss just like the whole the holistic aspect of the sport of basketball, aside from just like watching games and highlights and that stuff. I like watching the practices, watching players, being a part of players going at it in practice, challenging your teammates and your coach, and having to deal just going back to my experience, having to deal with balancing your academics, real life, and all of that. So to me, that just is so intriguing to just be able to watch, because I know the quality of what Last Chance U is.
Yeah. And it's nuts too, man. Like it puts it into perspective where you're like, for a lot of these guys, this is their last chance. Like real talk. Like if they don't get to D1 or D2 school, they have no other options. Like they haven't thought about any other options. And for a lot of them, this is it. Ball is life. Like that's all they know, you know? And they got some real situations, man. Like we're talking about people who may be living on the street. Like there's one episode, not in this season, so I won't spoil it, but in one of the football, there was a dude who was living in his car. Like
throughout the
fuck. Because not all these colleges, we think of colleges, you know, you got dorm life. No, some of these are really commuter colleges, so there's no accommodation.
Damn.
And these guys are working like 2 jobs plus playing football or playing ball, and you know, they maybe got a kid, they got a couple, like they just got all these real life situations, and you're rooting for them because you want to see them succeed.
Have you seen the whole season?
Yeah, I just finished it yesterday.
Satisfying at the end, or are you heartbroken? Or is it a little both? It's
a little bit of both. Because like I said, it comes into 2020, so you're gonna get some COVID conversations in there.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I love when I was like really hopeful when you're like, this is the 2019 season. I was like, oh, great. Just when things are normal. I want to watch that.
Yeah. But I will say too, not on just this show, but I don't know about you, man. We could have this discussion too before we jump into some other ball stuff. But I find myself being really hooked to nonfiction shows. Like that's my lane.
Is nonfiction
like documentaries? Like profiles of people. That's where I'm at right now, man.
I think to me, it depends on how I'm feeling about my reality, and if I want to like continue to stay grounded in it, or if I'm just trying to watch something for more of like an educational or informative perspective, because I find that the reason why I turn to a lot of shows and like a lot of the content that I consume is just to kind of separate from my it's escapism is big for me, and I think that's why I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe so much, because it's out there. To me, that's like it's not reality at all, but it's like really cool the concept that stakes are so high, but there's a hero with powers that can change and save the day and whatever. So I love escapism. I love content for escapism purposes. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm on the other end.
Okay. Depends, man. Like I don't know, throughout the last few months, I've been really finding myself watching these non-fiction based shows like Last Chance U, or I might watch some reality TV even, but it's based on
like what? Not trash though, right?
No. Like
okay.
Just man, sure. I hate that I'm gonna say this, but we ended up my girl and I, we ended up watching Marriage or Mortgage.
Oh, somebody told me that at work. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so
let's talk about that.
It's triggering because I'm in that same boat right now, but basically
wedding or
or a house. So basically couples are trying to decide between their dream wedding or their dream house. So they work with a designer. Sorry, not a designer, wedding planner. And they're working with a real estate agent. So the wedding planner puts together, you give them your budget for both. They put together the dream wedding package for you.
Okay.
That look like.
So they just put it on paper for you?
No. They take you to the venues. They take you to the food testing. They show you. You test, you try, you feel. They look at wedding dresses for the women, the suit for the guys or whatever. Then the real estate agent, she's taking you out. She's showing you the homes based on your budget, your checklist. She's showing you the vision. Like she basically stages the house the way you would set it up. So they give you the dream, and then they ask you have to pick one or the other.
I don't get how that's a hard decision. Get the fucking house.
But that's
you gotta talk me out of it. I know, and that's what my coworker said. They said she said that you would think that people would just go for the house, but nah. And do you feel that way? Somebody that is going through it now, like that there's a potential to be swayed either way?
Yes. It's
really,
man. It's one of those, I don't know what it is about weddings, man. Like, not that everyone has their dream scenario, but like you think about what that day means, what that day could be. You might have an expectation of what you want your wedding to be like, right? Not to say you dreamt about it since you're little, but you have a vision.
You can say that. You still be cool.
Yeah, exactly. And then of course, like obviously everyone wants their crib, you know what I mean? But there's just something about the wedding that gets you excited, and you buy into the fantasy of, even though it's one day, you're going to spend a crap ton of money for one day. You get sucked into the idea. You get sucked into the dream. And that's what it is. Yeah. Especially in the show, when they show it to you, bro, they take you to the venue. They do a mock-up. You're in marketing, so you know what this is. They do the mock-up. They do all of that and show you what it's going to look like.
I mean, I guess so. But I think you'd have to do a really good job of like separating the reality of what that home can do for me with the emotional attachment to my dream wedding day, because I've never been married, but I've had a lot of good parties before. At some point, like, a good party is a good party. It doesn't take much to have a good time to me.
Yeah.
You can throw all the bells and whistles in the world at something and it could still suck. But a good party, let me tell you what it takes. Good music, good people, good food, and drink.
Yeah.
And I don't think it gets any more complicated than that. I think I can figure it out if I got a house. If you give me a couple pennies, I feel like I can still figure out a great wedding.
Yeah,
I don't think you can convince me.
I trust, bro. I hear you. But like then you get couples who are split, right? And that's where it gets interesting, where one person wants the house, one person wants the wedding. And these wedding planners and the real estate agent, they'll play to that. Because at the end of the day, they want to win, right? It's a competition for them. So they'll pull out your heartstrings. They might let's say you had a loved one pass away.
Okay.
They'll incorporate that beautifully into the wedding. And so that's going to pull at your heartstring. Or they might pull that into, let's say you're pregnant and you're expecting a baby. They'll find a way to bring that into the house.
Maybe it's like myself as like speaking from the perspective of like a creator, and somebody that feels like I can make anything really come to life. If I
can curate the vibe,
I can curate it myself. So I feel like I can sit there and like say, okay, I've got a budget of like a few $1,000s or what, 100. Well, I don't even know what the budget would be, but then I'll be like, okay, who do I know that just loves me, that can just do this off the strength? Then who do I know that I have to pay?
Right.
And then I just pull those strings together and I can make it happen. But guess what? I can't make happen.
A house,
a home. I can't make a house just happen. I can't just be like, yo, I know my boy and I got this boy. No. At the end of the day, I gotta have money to do it.
Facts.
You know, with the wedding, there's certain things that you can kind of like finagle.
Yeah.
So would they just not cast me? What, like, am I just completely wrong?
You don't get cast.
They'd just be like, this guy, he's
too negative. But no, like honestly, there's shows like that, man. I've been watching those, and like that one's a little triggering. That one I had to stop because I'm like, this is too real. This is too real. You know? Are you not fully caught up, but like, have you watched 2 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Oh, bro, I'm on episode 3.
Okay, I didn't watch episode 3 yet, but episode 2 was way too much.
Let's talk about it,
bro.
Let's nerd out.
We find out. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Now that you're gone or fast forward, or you're here to still listen.
Yes.
We find out that there was a black Captain America.
Right?
They didn't say it, but like I did my research obviously afterwards and found out that the super soldier that was black who Bucky took Sam to see, he also was Captain America at one point. They also his grandson there, people are saying that they teased that he's going to be Patriot, who's going to be part of the young Avengers.
Yeah.
But right after we have that very triggering conversation where he was incarcerated for 30 years.
Crazy.
And they tested on him. And that stuff is not that we're talking about super soldiers, but you know, the incarceration and the testing and the poking and prodding and treating, of black people like in that manner, you know, dehumanizing them, especially one that is a super soldier and one that is a superhero that did what a Captain America was doing back in the day. And I'm assuming that in this Marvel timeline, it's like after Captain America vanishes. I'm assuming he probably took over or something like that. But it's just crazy to see the polarizing directions in which that people have treated them both. The Captain America that is glorified, and he's got he's in all the high school videos. He's got a whole
he has a whole museum
and shit.
Yeah, a whole section in the museum.
It's like a great honor for somebody else to take take under the wing. Holy shit, the Raptors are up by 42 against the Golden State Warriors.
Jeez. But not just someone. Let's not gloss over that. It's a privilege for someone white to take over the mantle of.
Yeah, exactly.
Captain America.
So, and this is after a black man who was gifted the shield gave it away, and we're going back to this. So there's so much race that is playing here. And then as soon as they leave the house, after they were kicked out of the house, basically by the super soldier, black Captain America, whose name escapes me.
Eli, I believe.
Eli.
Yeah.
The police showed up and are speaking to both Bucky and Sam and turn to Bucky and say, hey, is this man bothering you? And we're hearing and honestly, I was like this already from the previous shit. And I was like beside myself in that whole moment. I'm like, Marvel, man, wow. This is, I'm happy that like they have the ability to have different genres and looks and feels with their different characters. So this is not at all a WandaVision vibe.
I love it. Never would have expected this scenario to play out, or these scenarios to play out in a Marvel Disney show. You know what I mean? Like,
thank God we have a show. I think that's the only reason why, because we have the time to do it.
Right. Because I'm like, you know, they would maybe mention, they might make a note. Someone may have a throwaway line about something in a movie, but in the show, you have that moment where Sam is interrogated by the cops. Like they were literally about to take this man away in a cop car until one cop recognized him. They didn't realize they were wrong.
Yeah. He whispers to him and he's like, yo, that's Falcon, you know, the fucking Avengers. Yeah. He's one of those guys.
Yeah. So it's not that they realized that they were racially profiling this guy being racist. It's, oh, no. You famous. We know your face. All right.
Yeah. Oh, he's one of the good ones.
Right?
One of the ones that we know.
Yeah. crazy. So for this show to take it there, man, like I'm loving where they're going with this. because we haven't seen the last of that character. I'm sure we're gonna see that first black super soldier again.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's a younger actor that they aged up, right?
No, I thought he was older.
Is he old?
I know he's actually you would love this. He's a voice actor too. He's done the voice of Cyborg and a few other superheroes in video games and animated series. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I need to know. Yeah, I need to know if this guy, if like we're just gonna see more like action shots. I feel like he's younger. It looks like I just don't believe
it. Looked like they aged him though.
Yeah, so that's why I only say that because I feel like we might see like some flashbacks.
I hope so.
Or perhaps even like a movie.
Yeah.
A movie with a black Captain America starring this guy.
I love it.
It starts with like Steve going in the water and it's done. It's like, okay, where do we go now? Like Captain America is dead because that's what they all thought for years.
Exactly.
And this is where the
program was done.
Yeah, the program's done. Then you get this super soldier here who's going to take over, a black guy at that.
Yeah.
That movie being made in this time.
Oh yeah.
Post Black Panther.
Yep.
Post George Floyd. Post all of this stuff that we're dealing with. I think would be such a powerful film to watch.
Oh yeah. The thing that like threw me off is he's aging though.
He's aging.
Older.
He's aging, but he also wasn't frozen for a long time.
True, that's right.
And who's to say? Yeah, and Bucky was like he was frozen.
Yeah,
and then activated when needed type shit.
Yeah.
And then who knows? Like these are all like, I don't think that they're exactly the same super soldier serum.
No, it definitely looks modified. Yeah, no, it definitely looks modified. Like all of them were a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But yo, this show, like, I'm loving where Marvel's taking this, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and even the stuff on like the fact they have no money. Like Sam broke.
Yeah.
Sam's broke. Sam can't even get a loan from the bank. Like, bro, I've always thought about
that though. I needed to see that though because like we know Tony's good.
Yeah.
I think that's the only Avenger that we know is good. Like every other one is like
T'Challa. I mean, Black Panther.
T'Challa's good too.
King. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody else is just like, yeah, Bruce Banner's a doctor, but like I don't know if he works for. He doesn't have a practice.
No. He was just a doctor. He was just on the like freaking run. He was living in these little huts in Asia.
I'm sure that Black Widow had a great government salary at some point. So
she's a contractor.
Yeah, exactly. So did Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Ant-Man was a thief.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's her name? Even Wanda, like what the fuck? What is she?
She's a refugee, bro. Wanda's a refugee, bro. Like think about it.
Yeah.
Very
interesting.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Rhodey is he was a government agent, or I guess too.
Yeah, he's a colonel. He's a colonel.
Yeah,
so
he's
making
colonel.
bank. He's doing.
He's got that pension.
Yeah. Exactly.
Doctor Strange had the money and is now just a wizard.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's a really good watch. I really encourage everybody to watch that one. Even if you're not really too crazy into Marvel movies, I think like this is just one that's full of action and like social
commentary, action, adventure. Yeah, no, it's a good series.
You said that you wanted to oppose me in Russell Westbrook's statement that he had, and I don't know what your opinion is on it, but I will play the video. It is 2 minutes. I'll see where I can cut it. This is just based off of him replying to Stephen A. Smith, who I think honestly, Stephen A. Smith and a couple other guys like Stephen A. Smith don't really do much for the people that they spend so much time being highly critical of. And we mentioned this when we were talking about Kyrie Irving. When it comes to how Kyrie Irving has had his ups and downs, and he's been dealing with things spiritually and mentally and socially, and he's just been moving a whole lot different and just doing whatever the fuck he wants to do. And it might not be exactly what we see fit for what the prototypical basketball star should be doing, which is why Stephen A. was saying stuff like he should retire. And so I think Russell here was talking about how he was talking about the narratives and just talking about how, he gets heavily criticized for not having a championship and stuff like that, even though he's going to be regarded as one of the best point guards that ever played the game regardless.
Let's talk about it. Let's play this clip.
You know, I
Let's
watch
hear
these
what he
college games and I watch these kids and these announcers, man, they get on their TV and just say anything about a kid. They don't even know him. They don't know his family. They don't know where he's from. They don't know what he's been through. They don't know his struggles. They don't know his pain. They don't know anything about the kid. But one thing said on TV can determine how you perceive this kid on TV, which will allow him not to be able to reach his goals, which will allow him not to be able to get drafted, which will allow him not to take care of his family, which will now not create generational wealth, which now, makes our people and the minorities, the underserved community, which makes that gap. It's way bigger than basketball. That's my entire life focus. And my wife, that's what she's mentioning, because we talk about all the time, is that, I sit back. I don't say much. I don't like to go back and forth about people. But one thing I won't allow to happen anymore is let people create narratives and
What was that?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, so basically to preface what he was responding to as well, is he had a triple-double game the night before this, or the game before he made these comments. And on First Take, Stephen A said, I don't give a damn about his stats. His team's not winning. Right? He's like, the stats mean nothing to me. His team's not winning. We know what he could do. He's done this before. He went through a season averaging a triple-double, but he can't win when it matters. So that's what...
you can't take away what he's able to do. Like, what he does is just something we thought was unrealistic again. Everybody saw Oscar Robertson average a triple-double, and we're like, yeah, that's impossible to do. Then Russell Westbrook did it for 2 seasons.
Yeah. So you want me to start, or you want to take it?
Let me just play the little bit what he's going to say about the, in reference to what you were just talking about.
Cool.
I'm happy. I said before, a championship don't change my life. I'm happy. I was a champion once I made it to the NBA. Like, I grew up in the streets. I'm a champion. Like, nobody can. I don't have to be an NBA champion. I know many people that got NBA champions that's miserable, have done nothing for their community, have done nothing for the people in our world. And for me, man, my legacy, like I mentioned before, is not based on what I do on this court. I'm not going to play basketball my whole life. My legacy is what I do off the floor, how many people I'm able to impact and inspire along my journey, man. And that's how I keep my head down and keep it pushing, because it's very important that you.
So I think what's important here is I love that it's what Russell Westbrook, a guy that we know that is super competitive, that is saying these things. So we're not saying that a loser is saying this, more or less, is kind of what I'm trying to say.
Fair.
And then on top of that, yes, he's right. I think it's hard for me to agree that basketball players should be criticized in the way that a Stephen A does. It's okay to criticize a Russell Westbrook and say, when you're comparing players and, you want to talk about his legacy in general, you can tack it on that he has not won a championship, that he has not been able to win at this level. You can have that criticism, but you can't say that and then take away everything that he's accomplished on the basketball court, and then take away everything that he's had to work so hard to get, and then take away the fact that, and just outside of Russell Westbrook, any athlete at this level, the fact that they just deserve to be there, and that it's like a few hundred positions. We saw, I won't play it, but there's that clip with Bradley Beal, who's talking to a bunch of kids, where he's just like, what, you motherfuckers are like arguing right now about, realize you're arguing about, like, you guys there's only a couple hundred jobs up for grabs. Yeah. And guess what? You got to guard me. And you think I'm going to give up my job? None of you guys can guard me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think there's some accountability that a lot of these personalities, that these media personalities need to have. I think the whole idea of creating narratives is something that, and I'm going to say probably from the perspective of playing basketball competitively for a number of years, that I think comes from the people that I've noticed that have never really played the game. They just like to create storylines about the people that actually do it. And I think when it comes to working on these networks and being a part of First Take and ESPN or whatever, you don't necessarily need to do this, again, going back to the shock jocking perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you need to go there and say, I don't give a damn about a Russell Westbrook triple double. Has he won any championship?
That was pretty good. That was actually pretty good.
Thank you. I don't think you need to do that. I think he can have that same level of enthusiasm and say, Russell Westbrook got another goddamn triple double. And this
this guy's unbelievable.
30. He's unbelievable. He got 30, 20, and 10. I mean, I really wish he could win a championship. Can he get some help? You can do that instead.
Yeah.
You know, instead of being on the side of a Wendy Williams saying Bobby Shmurda's going back to jail, you can be part of the side of like, stop putting us down. Why? And when Russell Westbrook is talking about you're literally potentially taking food out of people's mouths, creating narratives, branding people a certain way, how dare you? That's how I feel about it.
So let me ask you a question. So are we not allowed to criticize players anymore? Because
you can criticize players, but what he says is not. It's another level of criticism. He demonizes some people. He blackballs certain people. He tells you that Kyrie Irving should retire from basketball. He said that this season.
He did say that about Kyrie.
Do you not think that there's something wrong with a black man?
No. I get that. But like, my issue with what Russell was talking about, because Stephen A's talking about basketball, right? It's unfortunate we don't have the clip, but like, you guys can find this online, whatever. Stephen A criticized Russell Westbrook's basketball game. He didn't talk about anything that Russell does off the court, because Russell does a lot. And Stephen A acknowledged that. He said, yo, I love the brother. He does amazing work in the community. He's out there. He lives the life that he talks about. You know, he's a real guy. But on the court, he's just criticizing his game. And I think that's my larger point, where I don't know why these athletes now in the game now, you can't criticize their game. You can't talk about their game without them blowing it up and saying, oh, how are you going to tell me I don't do this? I don't like, this is my problem. It's why can't we critique your game? Why can't I say that you can't win the big one, or you have an issue winning when it matters? All your stats are great, but can you do it when it matters? Why can't we have these conversations?
I think it's
with these athletes?
It's dismissive when it's right. It's dismissive when it's the game where he gets 30, 20, and 10 or whatever the fuck he got. You don't see him do something amazing, astonishing, and unbelievable individually. And then instead of celebrating and breaking it down, because that's, if we're talking about the game, let's talk about his game. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. It was amazing. Stephen A did not want to talk about his game. No. He dismissed his entire game and said, here's narrative. The narrative is, you've been playing in this league for years and you still haven't won a championship. So I don't give a damn if you had 30, 20, and 15. I'm still waiting on the championship. You know what I mean?
Why is that so wrong though? Because
that's I don't think that's a response. The conversation, it's got to be a separate conversation. I think the conversation has to be, when we're talking about Russell Westbrook as a basketball player, let's talk about that.
Right.
If we're talking about Russell Westbrook and his amazing game, why are we talking about the fact that he has 0 championships instead?
Because he's not a winner when it counts. Like, the
conversation is a game,
but it's about the larger picture. Sure, he can do this. He can get that triple double, but when it matters, he doesn't win. And this is my problem. We are talking about sports. We're talking strictly about what's happening on the court, how that game affects the season, is going to go into playoffs. Because at the end of the day, what do we care about? What do we talk about in barbershops? Who's got championships? Who's the great? Who's the GOAT? What do we measure GOATs on? GOATs are measured on the amount of championships they win. How did you win? Right?
Yeah.
But like, this is why I feel like he's being a little sensitive here, in the fact that no one was critiquing the things you do off the court, trying to stop your bread, stop you from getting that generational wealth. We're talking about your game.
I think he wasn't really talking specifically about Russell Westbrook himself. I think it seemed like he was talking about younger players / collegiate athletes, when he was saying how sports reporters and writers and stuff like that create these narratives about people being uncoachable and not winners, and all these different things that they throw labels on, where it then would affect a bag. Like, I think I don't know DeMarcus Cousins, and I haven't been around DeMarcus Cousins, but I can imagine that his brand itself has fueled where he is today, where he's just lucky to get a 10-day with the Clippers.
For sure, because that was in that case, that was a narrative that came out. But is it a narrative if it's true? If it's true, if it's a narrative, if every situation you're in ends in a negative way with teams parting ways with you.
I think you're right. Both sides have to have a level of accountability.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about like where you just I just don't see a world where we need to have a Stephen A or these guys
the shock jock.
Yeah, there's like, why do we have to do this? The news is there. Yeah. Like the headlines are right there. Yeah. Sports, the highlights are right there.
Yeah.
This guy dunked all over that guy. What's his name? Biombo the other day. Are you crazy? Why are we talking about how he doesn't win championships when I'm seeing old ass Russell Westbrook lose his mind on the basketball court? I don't give a fuck about
baptize the man.
That shit was so aggressive. I thought he murdered him.
Honestly, he caught a body. Like, it was crazy. That's where I agree. Like, we should talk about that.
I want balance of it. I just think there needs to be more balance in the way that there's coverage. Like, I'm not saying that we should never criticize the guys, because we should.
Yeah.
I think that, there's sports, and then there's the commentary around it, because people, and I'm never going to knock somebody for wanting to be there, because it makes sense. And that's media that I like to consume, even if I'm not the one giving out the opinions in a barbershop. Well, not really a barbershop, because but I just think there needs to be balance between, because I've never heard Stephen A. Smith talk about Russell Westbrook in a great light. And I've also seen Stephen A. Smith talk about certain athletes in like Kawhi Leonard in 18 different lights. Yeah. He contradicts himself. We've seen Stephen A. Smith fight Stephen A. Smith, and sometimes I'm pretty sure they're just him talking about the same player in two different months.
Yeah, but like to be fair, it's a debate show, right? So I get it. They take sides. He has to take an opinion that is the opposite of whatever Max is going to take. So I get it. So sometimes his point, he will contradict himself. But to your larger point, and I think this is probably an American thing, it's just the shock jock, the sensationalizing of their media. This is how they handle things.
That's true.
It's polarizing.
That's how they like their politics. That's how they like
everyone's got to be polarizing,
True.
But I really want you and the listeners to watch Last Chance U basketball, because a lot of this conversation we're talking about right here, players being uncoachable, how do you reach
the generation? That's how a lot of those players ended up there.
These
narratives and stuff.
These narratives, right? So because a lot of these guys get deemed uncoachable, or they got attitude issues or whatever, they think I'm the guy, I'm the star. So yeah, watch these shows and watch these athletes, because they're one in the same conversation.
I think there's a conversation that I want to start, and I'm sure that this is not the last time that we'll talk about it, because I like to have the women's perspective often in these, and it just so happens to be just you and I. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
So nowadays it's a little bit different. Aside from COVID, I think prior generation, our parents' generation, it was very normal for them to say, you know what, I'm 18, I gotta go on my own, I gotta spread my wings and figure it out. 18, 19 years old, 20, they have their own place, they just go. There's no, I'm going to stay home and raise and save money and then leave and buy a house. Like, that's not, that was not our parents' generation. Correct me if I'm wrong, if that was your
no, it's facts.
Facts. So I'm pretty sure your dad was like, how
bro, my dad he left home when he was like 20 something, like early 20s, and just came to another country. Like, that was it.
That's not normal for us. I think, like, for my parents, they were on their own from like 19, 20.
Yeah.
So I bring this conversation up, knowing that I'm a guy that's still living at home. Yep. Turning 30. Sorry, I caught myself the other day. And Patrick, I think you're like,
yeah, I'm at home.
You're at,
yeah.
No, you guys
I'm even kind of reluctant to say
you're in the basement too.
I'm in the basement. legit.
You're in the basement too. But I think it's a very interesting conversation, because, like, growing up, my uncle in the U.S. early on had the that same old school mentality where it's like, well, when they're 19, they got to get their own place. I don't know what they think they're doing. And then that started to change, you know, when we start to realize what's best for our children and what's the best way to go about things. So I don't know, for you, my first question is, what has it been? Was that ever like a thing for you when dating, you know, with staying at home?
Nah, man. It really was never an issue because I think anyone I've talked to in past was in the same situation as me, where like, you know, we can't afford to be on our own at that time.
So they just get it. It's just, yeah.
They get it. They understand what it is. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's never been something I've felt pressured by anyone I was dating or even friends around me. It's more so pressure I put on myself where I'm like, I gotta get out. Yeah, I gotta get out. Like, I'm a man. Like, I gotta go spread my wings and just be on my own, you know? But yeah, how about you?
I think I've actually had, like, I've dated where, you know, the women that I've dated have had their own spaces sometimes. And sometimes they might not necessarily have their own space. But I think I've always internally had, like, it's always been a thing for me about, like, how do I let them know that I'm still at home, but I'm not a bum? And I don't think
that off the flex.
Yeah. And I'm not even sure, like, if that's like something that is the first response to anybody when they hear that you live at home. But like, to me, that's just something that I've internalized and thought about what is a potential response to hearing that, where it's like, oh, I thought this guy had it all. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, but he live at home. I don't understand. I don't get it.
I think it's different though, because like we're just hitting that 30 mark or 31, whatever. Where I think the expectation is like, okay, in your 30s, you should be out. But I think there's a little bit more leeway when you're in your 20s. People give you that leeway to, you know, figure your stuff out. You know, you spend a lot of your 20s in school. A lot of people, you're going to probably maybe rent somewhere with some roommates or whatever, but you're eventually going to end up back at home. That happens to a lot of people.
So question for you, another one on top of that. So we had our realtor come by because you know, we're looking to get rid of this place, and you know, I'm gonna spread my wings and all those things. And the first thing he said, like, you know, he asked me, like, you know, how old are you? Because he was the guy who helped us sell the house that we had in Jane and Finch when I was like 13, and now he's here helping us figure out what our situation is now. Old Jamaican guy, looks like Doc Rivers.
Yes.
So he was just kind of catching up because the last time he saw me, I was like a kid.
Yeah.
And he's like, how old are you now? I'm like 30. And then he started asking me about like my work and, you know, my situation, whatever. And he gave me first dap was, he's like, you got no kids, dap. But the second dap was, yo, you're still here. Like, good for you. It wasn't like you're still here, bro. Wow. It was good for you that you're still here.
Yeah.
Because I think, especially, and I think you might be able to relate, staying can probably sometimes be harder than just going.
Yo, facts, bro.
Because it's an easy decision. It's an easy decision to just say, you know what, lease, I'm out.
Yo, every day I have that talk to myself, man. Like, you can make it. You can get through. Don't kill the old man. But no, it's honestly, you're right. It's easier to just be like, you know what, whatever, I'm gonna tough it out. I'm gonna go rent somewhere. If I have to eat craft dinner, I'll survive.
Yeah, I'll make it. Yeah, exactly.
I'll make it happen. But yeah, to stay can be harder, man.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It was always something for me, and then it just became, you know what? There was a point where I had the realization where I'm like, it's not just me that's going through this. Don't be so damn hard on yourself. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because I feel like sometimes us in this situation, the ones that are like grinding, trying to build, and like, I've been saving for a decade. A decade.
Wow, for real,
10 years I've been saving for a house at this point.
Okay, so you
like, I'm
getting close.
Yeah, I'm just about ready. And so it's just like, I think it's just a reminder for myself, and I hope for everybody else, that we don't have to, like, don't have that internal rush in your head. Like, there shouldn't be an age attached with what you're gonna do. What you're gonna do. I remember I associated 30 with being
Yeah.
I had like, I don't know what you thought about 30, but to me, I had my own house. I was in the suburbs at this point. This is my second home I've owned.
The second
I'm
home at
married.
30. Okay.
I got 2 kids. I'm making 100 and something K at least. I'm probably famous, I think.
Damn.
All of that is happening
by 30.
So yeah, exactly. I don't know what you had in mind.
No, definitely. I think, you know what's crazy? I'll be pretty close to reaching one of my goals, or not goal, but just I don't want to call it a goal, but just one of the things I thought what would happen was I figured being married by 30.
Yeah.
And you know, that's on track to happen. You know, let's make sure that happens. But no, I definitely thought that. And one of my goals, I haven't hit it, and this is the pressure I put on myself from having an older sibling. So maybe this could be something for you, because you're the oldest. It's like, I really look at what my big sis does, and I'm like, damn, all right, she moved out 27. I got to move up by 27. So I was gung ho about that. Meanwhile, I didn't get my first full-time job until like 25, 26. So like, where was I really trying to go? What money did I have saved up? You know what I mean? So I'm still here.
That's real.
Going on 30.
Sibling rivalry.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, I see her do her thing. I'm like, all right, cool, bet I got to do that. But in that 10-year period, we're a decade apart, everything's changed. The market is unsustainable. Where she could have gone and purchased a place by herself, you need almost 3 incomes now to be able to afford a place in the city of Toronto, you know? So it's like, you gotta, and I say all that to say, don't put so much pressure on yourself, because things change, situations change, the world is evolving, changing, markets change. Whatever you thought you were gonna do, if it doesn't happen by that date, it's okay. It's okay.
And something just might be different completely.
That's what I mean.
Like I'm now open to the possibility of renting next year.
Okay.
Because it just might make sense in the way that we do things.
Yeah.
Rent as a renter, it's way easier to get a spot now.
Oh, for sure.
It's way more affordable.
That's the one benefit of COVID.
Yeah, I know. Rent has gone down, and you know, people that are trying to rent out their properties are like, you don't even have to commit. Just like say you'll be here.
Just say be here tomorrow. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of open to that as like a temporary situation while I can still save and figure out where I want to live long term.
Yeah.
But like, that's something that I never thought I'd be open to before, because if I was tied to my old ways, who knows? I might have forced myself into a mortgage situation where it's not favorable to me, and now all of a sudden I'm eating craft dinner, but I own a house.
Yeah, it's right. And bro, like, and think about it. That lifestyle that you knew, you can't live that. You trying to go out, you can't go out. Where are you going? You got mortgage to pay. You know what I mean? You got to be willing to make those sacrifices and, you know, still set money aside for fun, but it's not going to be like what you knew.
Yeah. I spoke to my boy the other day, and he was just like, bro, if your life will pretty much end as soon as you become a homeowner. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Our mutual friend told me that years ago. He's like, the moment you get that mortgage payment, life changes, man.
I don't believe that guy. He's been 30 from the time he was 21. So.
Honestly,
I don't believe it.
My thing is like, yo, if I had a place, best believe that's where we're going. Like, I'm not going out nowhere. My boys are coming here. Yo, we having games night. We're drinking here. Yo, there's a game on. There's a fight on. Yo, come to the crib. This is the place. Like, I want to get to that level where mandem have their spaces, and we could just be like, yo, this weekend we're here. This weekend,
the living room is
Shacks, like, you know.
Exactly. The living room is also a podcast studio.
That's it. Exactly.
You know what I mean? All I gotta do is just move the arm in and be like, all right, we ready to pod. Just open the chest, raise it up a little bit, turn on the camera, and we podded.
And we podded. That's it, man. But that's the goal, man. So like, yeah, don't put pressure. Like, honestly, our generation too, man. We're like that middle awkward generation where everything switched. You know, those like, if you're in your late 20s, early 30s now, you're sandwiched between everything just flipping on you. The previous generation, it was a lot easier. You were looking at them, you're like, I could do this by the time they do this. Nah, everything switched up for us, and that's okay, man. We just roll the punches. We gonna be all right.
Yeah, and I love that now we have to pretty much, I don't love it, I hate it, but I'm just getting comfortable with constantly being uncomfortable, and that's just
it.
how you have to live aside from like, and that I think like the fact that we have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable as far as COVID goes, it helps me professionally, spiritually, mentally, and always just throw myself into being uncomfortable. So
that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was just a good conversation that just ended into a great ramble.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. That's how we do.
Yeah.
We ain't new to this. We true to this. Let's go.
Yeah, man. You got anything else you want to get out before we call it the day?
Yeah, man. Definitely got to shout out Royce Visuals, Street Eats Market, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So real quick, by the time this pod comes out, it will be open, but make sure you check out the Street Eats Market down by Scarborough Town Center. I talked about it before, had a chance to check it out. I've been putting promo videos out for the event on my socials, and of course on Not With The Hype Instagram and everything like that. So ton of vendors there. Make sure, especially now, guys, with the latest shutdown we're in, support these local vendors, these local restaurants that are just trying to make it.
Do they still have the Hillcrest Richmond Hill one open?
Hillcrest is still open.
I'll go tomorrow.
Man. So make sure you guys support these local vendors, man. These are people who live in our communities, live in our neighborhoods, and they're trying to make it right now. So, and plus the food's amazing. Like,
and if you're tired of Uber Eatsing the same 2 or 3 things, get out of your car, just get out of your house, get in your car, and then boom, and go see.
Honestly, it's gonna be a nice weekend. We're getting into spring. Step outside, do it safely, and just enjoy some good food. So, yeah, that's what I'm up to. If you're looking for me, you'll find me out there, either Hillcrest or Scarborough. So I'll be there.
If you're Hillcrest, holla at me.
Hey.
The world general speaking.
Yes. So you already know Patrick Dennis Jr. on everything. Hit me up. Let's build. Let's collab.
Yeah, man, Lincoln build.
Shop like Shaq. You waste you.
Shop like Shaq with a K. Make sure you don't forget to follow Not With The Hype on all platforms and WTH Podcast on Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And if you're trying to help out the boys and work with us, please do hit us up on anything. We're down.
That's with the hype.
Let's go.
That's with the hype.
All right.
Okay.
The fuck? It was 101.49 in the third quarter.
I know. Oh shoot, let me stop recording this.